Oh my dear! That's the difference, you know. He has such a big heart, he cares about losing one of his people, you know, when Stringer doesn't care at all.
You know, I need y'all to hear this, man. It was my fault. You hear me? Sorry, yo.
You're not gonna continue to walk with him?
Know you police when they hook up with you. And they know you police when they move in. All this shit is just fine. Until one day, you should have a regular job.
You need to calm more.
I'm saying.
You need to stop fucking waitresses.
Taking advices from Jimmy, I'm not sure it's the right idea, but at the same time I just think that our relationship is ruined since a long time, in fact.
Don't tell me I'm the same kind of asshole.
Fuck her up, girlfriend.
Jesus. Turn it into it, you know?
For now you're doing great, you know, like he has a job, he's going okay, he's looking great. But what Webey said, you know, about him, about the fact that a guy like him, he always comes back.
Well, times like these, honey, you have to shine. In your face, in your clothes, and in your pocket. Come on.
Hey, Jay? Yeah. What the fuck happened? What?
Who?
How was it?
Back? No.
You let me know, right? Okay, yeah. Thanks.
No.
No recall.
Ah.
I'm sorry.
Collapsed in the gym at the Central District this morning.
No guns, no guns, no guns, only beating them up. Ah. Okay. You taught them a lesson.
Talk some shit, Candy.
Uh-oh. Downtown in the house.
Nah.
Hey, Keeper, baby. Yes.
Cruising your district. Seeing what's up since the channels fell.
We see Barksdale cruising a few corners, but no one seems to be beefing with them.
We keep the lid on tight. You know, they know we're not their friends, and they damn well know that we'll take it to them if they don't behave.
And?
What do your CIs tell you?
You know, sticking CIs. We tune them up, we beat them down, we lock them up. It's the Western District way.
Not the subtitle one.
Police is only as good as his informants.
Yeah, but we ain't downtown no more, Kima. We're in the trenches here. You want information, go get your own CI.
You're late, Sarge.
I had a couple downtown detectives in my shop. They were confused and required assistance, so...
Yeah.
The new strategic plan for the district is to move all street-level trafficking to these three areas. We want to push it.
The empty ones?
We let these knuckleheads know that if they move to these areas, away from the residential streets, away from commercial areas, away from schools, once they're all comfortable, once they're all rounded up, once they've been down there a bit and they're used to putting their feet up and playing with the remote, then we go back and we do police work.
Okay, so it's still your place, but you're moving them.
Swallow up, girl.
And they're gonna move them to his place.
For this a ride? It's nice.
Suppose you got a Lex?
Ah, girl. Got a bus pass.
Nah.
What?
Trying to picture you mowing a lawn.
Yeah. I'll be wearing a suit.
You know, they bought a lot of folks out with early retirement and Parks and Rec. I could maybe hook you up with someone to talk to. And at my church,
would be
someone
cool.
said,
That would be
I think looking at you
What?
hurts.
Shouldn't look there.
She has a family, a guy, a son, a car, a job. She doesn't need you.
Son, still all honest, man. Wondering when I got so old. So no magazine.
Hey, Bubs.
Hey, nothing, man. My man is man.
Ready to put some work in?
Boy, man.
Yes!
You better lift 500-pound radiators. I'm up for these two, Tony. See some money, man. Come on.
Let's grab lunch.
I need to talk to him. Look, just tell him it's Donette. You know who the fuck I am.
Look, you see nothing there.
You're avoiding her. You would want to know what she knows.
Marlo, it's a problem, Stringer.
You should have known. You should have seen it coming.
You read the paper. I look like shit.
Hey, we got your class. And probably scored points for Lois at a sheer will time.
It's really a win-win for you. He has his class. He's not blaming you. He's blaming the mayor.
We are police. So no lies between us. He wasn't the greatest detective. He wasn't the worst. He put down some good cases and he dogged a few bad ones. You remember the Mississippi extradition, the arson murders? He brought that case home. And the triple, he won as much as he lost, much as any of us.
You're really getting emotional?
For Christ's sake, Hugh, play the fucking song already.
Ugh.
Did he piss off a wife for 3? Was he as full of shit as every other sad sack motherfucker wearing a badge of Baltimore City Police? Abso-fucking-lutely. But Ray Cole stood with us. In Baltimore. Working. Sharing a dark corner of the American experiment. He was called. He served. He is counted. Old King Cole.
Old King Cole. It was a good speech. And an emotional one that was a surprise. I don't know this song. It's a good farewell song.
Besides, I think they got all the family shots they need.
So, you'll be a while though, huh?
Mm-hmm. Gotta work the crowd, you know.
Your wife, your family, but I think that you're a cheater.
Jimmy. Jimmy.
Drunk as hell! Is it a surprise?
Fuck.
Not your wife. Oh, clearly you're in love with yourself. You know, he's not excited by the girl, he's excited by himself having the girl. Some guys are like that. You're waiting for Omar to pay his respect? It's cruel to wait for him right there. Logical and clever, but cruel. I'm sorry for Omar, you know, the fact that he can't pay his respect to his girl. She worked for him, you know, with him, and we saw that he was close to them, and that is not considering his team like, for example, Stringer is considering his team. Stringer lost someone. He didn't care about it, not even a minute. And really, he doesn't care about killing people or people being killed around him at all. The fact that he killed Dee like that, you know, he gave that order And the fact that he was at his funeral, he slept with his girl, he reassured his mom and all, it's really proving that Stringer has no heart for when it comes to losing people because it's part of the game. When really for Omar to lose someone, even if it's part of the game, it means a lot, and right there he cried and he was really feeling bad, and he was sorry and he apologized, to the other girl. I'm not sure that she accepted his apologies, but I think that maybe she can stay, and now it's gonna be also a revenge thing for her, against Barksdale's team. It would be great, I would prefer that than her giving up on all of that, so letting Omar all by himself. We'll see. And during this episode we have a parallel between the situation with right there Omar losing someone and also the cops losing someone. All of that thing about Carl dying, it surprised me because when, McNulty received that call, I was like, is it bunk? Like, where are we going with that? Is it bad? After that, he said that Carl collapsed, and I was not sure, of the translation of that. For me, he had an heart attack or something like that, so I was like, maybe he's still okay, he's still alive at least. So when I understood that he was truly dead, it shocked me. That I was never a fan of the guy when we had him on screen and all, but even without being a fan of him, I didn't hate him and I didn't want for him to be killed. And it's still making me a little sad that he died because he was important for the rest of them. And right there, the fact that they honored him, his memory, by having him right there, clearly his body, I'm not sure, but with that speech, with remembering that, okay, he had his bad days, but he was also a good cop for certain cases, and that no matter what, they all appreciated him. And yes, they are all honoring him. I love that. And I think that right there we have 3 people who died during this episode and 3 different ways to deal with it. Stringer, it's really like, he doesn't care about it, part of the game. Omar is sad about it, it's part of the game. Right there it was not a part of the game, it was a personal situation, And it's a little what Bunk said about the fact that dying like that, it's really not what is supposed to happen for them. They are cops, so they are supposed to die really old or to die in activity, making their jobs. And they care about it, about him. They are honoring him, taking the time to do it, and they have the time, to pay their respects to him, to honor him when Omar doesn't have that chance. See, we have really a parallel between these 3 deaths and 3 ways of dealing with it. It's interesting, that the writers are making these comparisons, in fact, doing that like that. McNulty, I love the fact that he's following this death, that case. He knows now that Dee didn't commit suicide, but who is gonna care about it? Bunk, he made a lot of jokes about the fact that no one cares about it, and McNulty is not gonna have anything, with the little information that he has. All of his team is telling him that it's nothing, he doesn't have a lot of information, and no matter what, right now they're forced to work on another case. So everyone is saying to McNulty, okay, great, you're convinced of that, it might be the case, but you're not sure of it, you don't have any evidence, and no matter what, no one cares about it and no one is gonna care about it. The fact that right now they are working on this case, on these murders, I can totally understand why. Because it's the main priority right now in all of the city. The fact that they are renting, his team to the different districts, it's really like they would all want Daniels to work for them, for their districts. but right now he has to work on this particular case. You know, it made me feel really sad, the fact that they are all after Marvin with his numbers, you know, with all of the debts that he has, you know, to resolve all of these crimes. When in fact, you know, I could be like, yes, the fact that you have so many crimes into your streets, it means that you're not making your job right. But the fact that they are saying all of that to him by humiliating him like that, it's making me so mad and so sad. Like, really, humiliation never worked at all. After that, they went for Bunny. After Bunny, I mean, and the fact that his numbers are not right neither. His solution for that is to make them all move, you know. All of these drugs things, you know, drugs teams, you want them to move on streets where there is no one. I understand the fact that it's to take them out of the big streets, you know, the commercial ones, the ones with schools and all of that. I understand also that it's gonna be an issue because right now, into the same streets, we're beginning to have an issue between Barksdale's guys, you know, and Marlowe's guys. Right there we had a fight. Stringer is gonna have to respond to that, but the police, the cops, they want you to move. So it's really gonna be who is taking these new streets first and taking them fully or not. Do you understand what I mean? Like, your territory on it. I think that right there we have the beginning of a war. If Stringer is accepting that war, because clearly the guy is playing blind, acting blind with everything, you know, he's not responding to Donette when Donette would tell him, you know, that they are looking at this death really closely. So far, before that, you know, before this episode, when Preston was telling him that it was not okay to take territories from people, that at some point they would not accept it and all they would respond, Stringer was really like, let's wait for that. Right there with Proposition Joe, they talked about the fact that the cops are after them, we are listening to them through these wires. And again, you are playing blind, acting blind by saying, let's give them the time to get bored. Really, Stringer's position, attitude, it's really, I'm gonna let things, you know, go on, like, at some point, cops are gonna get bored, people are gonna accept us into their streets, you know, they're not gonna say anything. Donette, she's gonna get bored and she's not gonna call anymore, like, I really don't think that it's a good plan. And for the street thing, you know, the fact that they want to move all of this drug business to these streets, these empty streets, we saw that it was a street in which, I can't remember his name, the soldier, you know, the guy who is out of jail, is living in. It can't be good. It can't be good at all, I mean, for him. We saw that he's trying to have a good life, at least to have a legal life. He has a job, not a funky one, but he has a job. Right there, he wants after, you know, his ex, and he tried to have her back, but she has a car, a job, a family, a guy, a son. She was really like, you're doing great, I'm glad for you, maybe I can help you to have a better job. But that's all that you're gonna have from me. I can understand that, but you know, I'm thinking about him, about the fact that he doesn't have a nice job, he can't have his girl back. Soon, his streets are gonna be full of drug business again. And what Wee-Bey said about the fact that that kind of guy, he always comes back to business, I think that he might be right. Even more if the drug business is coming at his doors. And we have all of the situations, the political one. That was a good move, you know. Tommy, that's his name? That was a good move because Herc, at the end of the day, is gonna have his class. The mayor disappointed him. played with his loyalty, so he's not gonna trust the mayor like he did before, but thanks to you, he has what he wanted. I think that it was a good move. And the fact that they suggested to the mayor, you know, to maybe fire Irv, if Irv at some point, you know, is gonna know that it was even just a discussion, it would be the worst. Or on the contrary, if the mayor is gonna discover that Irv, he didn't betray him, but at least he was not as loyal as he thought. That scene at the end with the woman and all, with the mirror, it was really to show that the guy is in love with himself, he's only thinking about himself, his pleasure. Right there it was his pleasure. But even more than that, you know, in all situations, he's thinking only about his own interests. Even during sex time. Okay, that was a cool episode. Again, I don't have the impression that we progressed a lot in all situations. And again, for me, this season is about the chain of command in all situations, you know, with the cops, but also with the drug businesses, you know, with Stringer, with Omar's team, all of that. All of this season, it's about chain of command, and this episode was really a lot about that. But yes, I don't have the impression that into the story with stuff we are progressing a lot. At the same time, it's only the episode 3. It's logical, but I want to be more into the real action. Right now, I have the impression to just stay at the surface, you know. We'll see. Okay, I'm gonna stop this review right now. It's all for you and for me for today, so it's all for me for now. So bye for now. Bye.
Wait a minute, Doc. Are you telling me that you built a time machine?
Crazy.